Hey guys, welcome back to another PS2 Memories video. Here we are taking a look at 4x4 Evo or 4x4 Evolution that was created by Terminal Reality and was released in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. And this is an off-road racing game with the emphasis on using trucks and jeeps as a means for competing in events and off-road style events in the game. This was also one of the very first games I ever bought for the PS2 back in the day, as I'm a big fan of racing games and I do really enjoy off-road style racing games, as I remember going back to playing games like Hardcore 4x4, Test Drive Off-Road, and even Monster Trucks or Thunder Truck Rally as it was known in other regions for the PS1, and I really enjoyed those type of games. So I wanted to be able to see what off-road games would have been like on the PS2. Now, even though graphics and the like are very different, as the PlayStation 2 was a lot more powerful than the PlayStation 1, it is a decent game, but some of the physics in the game wouldn't have been as good as other off-road racers that I had played in the past, even on the likes of some of the PS1 games. The handling physics and the overall certain collision detection elements on the environments would have been better in some of those older games compared to this game, but it's not to say that it's a bad game. I do remember back in the day when I did have it, it was difficult to kind of pick up and play. Again, I was getting more familiar with the use of analog controls, because even on the PS1 there was games that used the analog controllers, but not as much. They used still more so the digital pad or the D-pad on the controllers. But with the likes of the PlayStation 2, the majority of racing games, especially in those early days, all started to use the analog controller more so than the D-pad. So it definitely took a bit of getting used to. The whole feel of a lot of those games back then just felt very different from the PS1, and having spent so many years playing the PS1, it definitely took a while to adapt to a lot of these type of games. Now, the game itself is not without its flaws. The game does have a few issues in terms of some of the areas that I mentioned, and even some of the level design sometimes can be a bit of a hindrance, as things can pop up at different points throughout the races, and some of the areas that in which to go on the tracks and so forth can kind of throw you off a little bit when you're trying to win a race. So at times it can get a little bit frustrating, but it is still a worthwhile experience, especially if you're into off-road games. The game does offer a different selection of unique off-road style vehicles and jeeps that you can drive, all ranging from different branded models, anything from the likes of Ford, Chevy, Toyota and loads of other manufacturers. So if you're into off-road racing, there's definitely a lot of unique vehicles that are on offer here. The tracks themselves for the most part are quite open and wide, and they do have some variety in terms of their layouts and the environmental hazards and so forth that you will have to face throughout each course. Anything from the likes of mountain style racing, and even you can even race on likes of dirt tracks that would be even used for the likes of motocross racing and similar styled tracks. I do remember myself playing this for a while back in the day, trying to get a feel for it. I will be honest though, I did struggle with the game. It was because it's quite long. The campaign itself can be quite long, and after a while you find yourself where you might find the game maybe a bit too difficult, or sometimes even a bit too annoying to want to keep playing. But it just depends on the game, because in my opinion there has and is better games or off-road style games on the PlayStation, but for a first attempt at an early PS2 off-road racing game, it's not a bad attempt at all. And there was even a sequel to this as well, which greatly improved on a lot of the visuals and a lot of the elements as seen in this game. But there is enough quirks here, even with enough game modes like time trial, you can play a multiplayer, and there's a few other challenges and so forth that you can enter into that prolongs the overall play length of the game. And each of the vehicles in question do have their own unique handling physics. Some will definitely be able to be easier to use than others throughout the course of play. It really just depends on your preference or what your own style is, but there's definitely enough unique vehicles here that will help you to get a feel for the game itself. It is one of those unique type of games that is flawed but is also worth trying out. And if you're a fan of off-road style racing games, as there was quite a lot of them on the PlayStation PlayStation back in the day. There's no harm in having a look at this just to get an idea and to see what an early PS2 off-road racing game looked like and how it played. So if you are looking for something that fits those elements, then there's no harm in looking into this game also. And I'd love to know your thoughts on this game if you have played it yourself, and if so, what did you think of it? Did you enjoy it, or maybe not so much? And be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more of these style videos where I do more reviews of other types of off-road racing games that were also released on the PlayStation 2, then make sure to leave a like on the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon to be updated when future videos are released. And also feel free to check out a lot of the other videos on the channel where I have provided similar style videos and reviews and gameplay videos of other unique types of racing games that were also released on the PlayStation 2 back in the day. So make sure to check those videos out, and I will see you all in the next one.